Hello fellow travelers, my name's SG and welcome to the channel. Today I wanted to do a quick review on the 2000 Batman Beyond feature film, Return of the Joker. Now, I'm not gonna hide it, I am a big Batman fan. I'm sure a lot of people have pretty much guessed that from my previous content. But I will say that this Batman Beyond movie was probably one of the best Batman movies for a very long time, until the DC animated universe came out. So, without further ado, let's talk about it, shall we? Batman Return of the Joker was originally released on October 31st, 2000. It was written by Paul Dini, Glenn Murakami, and Bruce Timm, respectively, and directed by Kurt Gita. This film was said to be the last installment of the Batman Beyond series that Bruce Timm and Paul Dini had been writing and producing for a very long time, to coincide along the Justice League Unlimited series that was going alongside it. The original idea behind this was that, what if Spider-Man was more Batman themed and set in the future? And they achieved this, and this became a household icon, branching off into different variations in the comics, films, and many other things that came along the way. But Batman Beyond has only ever been, in the series, a main character. We have seen other stuff, as I said before, as Future's End, or maybe even the Batman Beyond comic series, but most fans don't really consider those canon to the Batman Beyond storyline. So this film is said to be the ending that Paul Dini and Bruce Timm had originally planned for, before the original Justice League Unlimited did their final episode, showing what Terry McGinnis was doing in his later 20s, maybe early 30s. So, for the most part, this was definitely a defining moment, ending both not just Batman Beyond, the series itself, but also the Batman animated series and Justice League series alongside it. We do get a lot of closure with the characters, where they are now and what happened to them to make them as bitter as they are in the series currently. Our story starts off with Bruce Wayne and Terry talking about how, since his disappearance as Batman and Terry has taken over, that he feels that Gotham is finally starting to look up, that it's finally starting to get better, crime is starting to go down, and even a gang that calls themselves the Jokers, who idolize the Joker himself, have started to dwindle in numbers. But as they talk about this, a new face in Gotham has arrived, or should I say an old one, where the Joker, or someone claiming to be the original Joker, has resurfaced and has said that he knows who the original Batman is, and has even named Bruce as the person, not on TV, but to him personally, and has even attacked Wayne Manor at one point, signifying that he in fact does know who Bruce Wayne originally was. Bruce Wayne, convinced that it might be true that this might be the original Joker, has to tell Terry that he cannot handle this. The Joker is a different kind of creature altogether. Terry, having already fought several different costumed people and powerful foes in his own right, thinks that he can do it now, that he has learned enough, and that with his help, they might be able to take out the Joker or put him away if they can. Bruce Wayne, still kind of traumatized over what has happened to Tim Drake in the past, insists that Terry must quit being Batman, otherwise it's going to be another tragedy for the Bat family. Now, this story does have a lot of the elements that you would like in a Batman story. It has the mystery, the intrigue, the detective work that we see, because we have Terry for the first time actually not in the suit, having to research what the Joker is, what's happened to the Bat family, and we even see what's happened to the original Robin, which the series has gone on for a minute not wanting to say. Not Dick Grayson, but Tim Drake, and leading to some of the darker moments the animated series has ever done. That includes both the original Batman animated series and Justice League series. It was claimed that there are two different versions, and there are, that is a fact, of the Joker's death. And that's not a spoiler, it's just what happens at the end. And I remember a certain way, I remember it both ways, and I suggest that you go see it yourself. I really don't think either way is better than the other. I do think they're both dramatic in the same vein. But I will say that this was definitely one of the original films that got me interested in this whole dynamic. I do remember the original run of Batman Beyond growing up and loving this movie no matter what. Now, I'm not going to tell you what or how it ends because I want you to go figure it out. I probably will spoil it when I talk about the references, but I do insist that if you haven't seen it, go see it. I'm pretty sure it's on either HBO Max or you can probably find it here on YouTube if you look. So let's move on, shall we? Now, the characters themselves are very well done. Let's talk about our main title character, shall we? And I'm not talking about Terry McGinnis, I'm talking about the Joker. The Joker, voiced by Mark Hamill in this, is perfect. He is terrifying, he is manipulative, and he is the one in charge. You can tell that this version of the Joker is definitely different from his other interpretations in the original Batman the Animated Series, or really in any other version. Just down to the way he looks, because he's not wearing the classic purple suit. He's wearing sort of like a black latex suit with like purple highlights. It's weird, but it fits for the era they're in and the way they look. You can tell that this version of the Joker is more of a mastermind, that he's more of a manipulator, and he is very threatening. Even to those that work under him find him terrifying. Kevin Conroy as Bruce Wayne in this is very well done. He's always been good as Batman, but in this you get that version of him that's an experienced veteran in what he does. But in this you can really see where the trauma is. You can see that this is something that has haunted him. Just the way he is acted and portrayed just suggests that he is still trying to push people away, even though he knows it's not 100% his fault, but he still really does feel that it is. You can tell that this has bothered him forever and was even the reason probably why he quit at the end of the day. Or at least one of the things that probably was on his mind when he quit. So he does very well at portraying a traumatized version of Bruce Wayne in this universe. And of course, Will Friedle as Terry McGinnis does come in as a young, slightly experienced version of Batman. He comes in as a very still trying to find his way in this world as the Caped Crusader. While not trying to be the original Batman, he's trying to be a version that he can be. And this is a way of proving himself as Batman, while at the same time trying to respect the old ways. This is definitely another form of his coming of age, I would like to think. That this was his way of identifying himself as Batman, but saying, I'm not Bruce Wayne Batman, I'm Terry McGinnis. The animation, I would have to say, is not that much different from the series itself, but it is very stylized, it's very fun to look at, has definitely a futuristic feel of what they would think that the Gotham would look like in this 30 years later. It doesn't really offer much in animation. I do think it has nice shadows. When we do see flashback sequences, we can definitely tell the difference between the Gotham now and the Gotham then. And it does keep its themes, it does keep its style, and it does keep it light and fun to watch. The color schemes are always fun for the Batman Beyond series. Just the way Terry McGinnis' outfit is different, with the large highlighted red bat symbol on all the black. It definitely does have a stylized look, but the animation overall is okay. I won't say it's the main point to watch the movie, but it does do the job overall. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of references that I have missed or probably won't note of, but there are at least two that I want to take note of about where these storylines come from. Now, some of you may recognize that the storylines are taken from the Jason Todd storyline. You know, the fact that he was kidnapped by a Joker, and that they pretty much just rewrote it to fit more Tim Drake than Jason Todd, and if Jason Todd was introduced in this universe, this is what his role would have been. But I do want to say that they did add another reference in there from the Dark Knight Strikes Back story by Frank Miller. That storyline does involve a Joker. It does involve a Bruce Wayne that has retired, and I'm not talking about the Dark Knight Returns, as some have seen with the white suit Joker. I'm talking about the Dark Knight Strikes Back, where it does reveal that there is a Joker that works for the government, and it later turns out to be Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson has volunteered to work for the Justice League, but under the guise of being a Joker. It's a very odd turn and doesn't really lead more into it. I wish there was more story to it. There probably is, I just need to look into it. But you can definitely tell that's where they got a lot of inspiration for this storyline from. Because you could tell just by watching the animated series, there is a lot of homages to Frank Miller's books. I'm just surprised we didn't get a mutant in there somewhere. But you can definitely tell that the series as a whole is a love letter to not just the animated series, but to Frank Miller, to future storylines that DC is known for, and the original comic book universe as well. All in all, the Batman Beyond Return of the Joker is a fantastic movie to watch. Where it lacks in animation, it makes up tenfold with the storyline in itself. The returning of characters and the closing off of storylines from past, not even this series material, really does give you a sense of closure that not a lot of series get. We do get a lot of returning characters, we do get a lot of missing characters that are there, and we are left with a lot of questions, like suggesting that maybe this was just part one of a set of movies they might have done. I would have definitely liked to see it. I would have definitely liked to see them take more of, from The Dark Knight Strikes Back, like I said before, going into more missing superheroes, more missing characters, such as we never see what happened to Dick Grayson. We never see what happened to Wonder Woman. We never see what happened to a lot of those characters from the anime series of Batman or the Justice League. It would have been an interesting take to just go off completely on a darker path with the Batman Beyond storylines, but I still think that this is a good movie to leave as a finale. This just solidifies that Terry McGinnis is Batman. He has taken down the Joker, but he is not like the Batman we know. He is his own version of Batman, with his own storyline that he wants to follow. And I think in a lot of ways, I think all of us can respect that. We are not the people we take over from. We are not our parents. We are not our teachers. We are who we are. We are ourselves. And I think that's really what this story was about. Accepting that you're not the person before you, and that you have to make your way through your life in your own sense. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I like this one. I like this movie. If you have something to say, please leave it down in the comment section, or please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I really do hope that we get to 100 so far. Subscribers, that is. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and hope to see you guys next week. See ya.